Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late November 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got here for the beautiful Cappies in late November? Getting very close to Capricorn season, so I hope you're planning your birthday. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Capricorn. Late November. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. All right, cool. I like this. It's a very unique energy to start off a reading, and I always say it reminds me of the Hierophant just because of all the strong spiritual undertones. Now, there's a few layers to this onion. It's not just all spirituality and the unseen. There is like this hidden type of energy that shows up with this card as well. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. And while you're down there, I want to test out that new hype button, so maybe hype me up a little bit. All right, enough of the promo, into the reading, I promise. Let's talk about this guy. So we see this individual. He seems to be searching through all these different spiritual emblems and spiritual symbols, which I think is great. So to me, it's a spiritual journey, soul searching. So now's a great time for any sort of spiritual practice, no matter what it is. Now's a great time for learning new things and adjusting it. I just love the spiritual energy around the collective right now whenever this card shows up. Notice the blindfold. He's not focused on the material. He's focused on the inner world, the spiritual, the connection to source and energy. So I think this is great. So whether you are on a knowledge acquisition journey of some sort, or maybe you're going through some sort of spiritual metamorphosis yourself, this card could be it. But of course, whenever I see a blindfold, I have to think of the unknowns, the unexpected. So hopefully there's nothing going on where it's like, there's something I'm not sure about, or there's something I'm not seeing. We'll see it if it shows up within the reading itself. But I generally really like this card. It does have that very spiritual nuance to it. So we're just going to put him down right there. I mean, now's a great time for figuring stuff out too, but we'll let him chill out. He could keep looking at those symbols. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. And we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Cappies. And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading, because I felt like the energy was pretty nice. So hopefully it did come in for you. The reading was titled Exciting News Incoming. And it didn't just feel like, oh, you're getting good news or a conversation you've been looking forward to. It felt like it went even further. So I felt like there's a good energy moving towards the Capricorn collective. And I always say wins, victories, they come in all different shapes and sizes, right? Sometimes it could be money and finances, sometimes personal relationships. So if you've been going through a rough one, that was a pretty good sign. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going here. Let's get 3 for Cappy. What do we got for our good friends? Thank you. Whoa, okay. Sun, beautiful. And for a lot of you that know the meanings of cards, this is probably the most positive card. So it's funny, with that first oracle, we were seeing some potential hidden energy, and now the sun shows up and it's like, nope, I'm going to cast light on this. I like the sun for revelation energy, aside from its base positivity. Let's get a couple more. Okay. Hanged Man, super analytical is what I'm already picking up here. Very, very analytical, very detail oriented. Let's get one more. I'm not disliking it, that's for sure. Okay, 2 wands. Yeah, so now there's like the strategy and planning. I feel like this is something I may have seen for you in recent weeks, but I like the energy, and there's just like a lot of looking, a lot of watching, a lot of analysis. So maybe that's you, maybe it's somebody else. We're just going to have to see as the reading goes forward. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always like to look at the elements first. It kind of informs me how the energy's moving or the areas of life that could be really pertinent right now. And you have a lot of fire this week, okay? So with the sun and the two of wands, that's a fire element. And that represents the realm of action. So the actions we take, the actions other people take. It represents vitality, energy, motivation, passion, drive, desire. I always call it our internal combustion system. So hopefully you're not having issues with energy. It could be a little up and down with the fire element, but I like it for the action. I like it for the movement. We'll see what's up here in the middle because it's like start, stop, start again. There's like this little stutter step of energy. Now, the only downside to a lot of fire is, of course, it could be a little explosive, a little volatile. It's an energy that does have an unpredictability to it. So we'll see what's up with it. And here in the middle, this is a very comfortable element for you. I'd say that's like a earth water combination with the hanged man because some people give it to Virgo, some people give it to Pisces, some people give it to Scorpio. So this energy is definitely workable for you. The feelings of security, it could represent home and family, living situations, money, finances, all that good stuff, big feelings of security here. But as the energy flows, it's like we're stopping, we're taking a break, we're going again. So there's like a little pause here in the center that we do want to look at. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we're starting with the sun. Now, as aforementioned, this is the most positive card in the whole entire deck. So I love whenever the sun shows up. Big Leo vibes. So maybe some of you have Leo placements. Maybe you're connected to the Leo. That could be very much possible here. But I connect the sun to source energy, the light, life, and love that shines down on us from spirit. A beautiful, bright, sunny day. So think of those nice, warm, and fuzzy feelings. That's what I always think of with this. It could be wins, it could be victories, it could be blessings. It's just anything that's good and positive or things that make us feel good. So it's always a great sign. But just like every card, there could be some downsides to it. Now, when the sun shows up, it could also be very intense, sunburn and all that. So when I see this card, it's like, ooh, there's an intensity to this energy. So whether it's energy you're holding or somebody else, like it's very, very hot and heavy in one way or another. Another thing with the sun, it is great for figuring things out, revealing things. So when I see this, nothing can hide under the rays of the sun. So it's like full revelation. So whether it's aha moments, eureka moments, or you figuring things out, that could be a big thing with the sun. So we're going to place it right here by the amethyst and we'll see. But it's positive until another card shows us otherwise. So we're flowing. In the center, the energy seems to stop for a minute. We have the Hanged Man. Now, this isn't a bad card. It gets a bit of a reputation. As I mentioned, it could be a Virgo, it's a Pisces, or a Scorpio, depending on the reader. I like to give it to all three of them. But the Hanged Man is similar to the Hermit, where it's like retracted, pulled back. It's not taking any action. It is chilling. It's not in pain. It's not miserable, but it's like sitting there watching something. It's analyzing something. So whether there's a person or situation that, they got your attention beams. Maybe you're under the microscope in one way or another when this card is here. It could also be strategy and planning. That's a big vibe with the Hanged Man. But it doesn't feel terrible. It just feels like it stops for a time. Now, this could be spirit saying, like, hey, hold your horses with something. Maybe take a second to think it through. For some of you, that could possibly be it. Now, the downside to this Hanged Man is sometimes it could represent problems. It could represent situations that get a little gunked up where it's like, okay, big stall. There's like a big roadblock in the energy. So we do want to look at it further. It's also a card of self-sacrifice, which doesn't have to be a bad thing. But this card often shows up when you might be putting your happiness to the side in lieu of someone else's. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Two of Wands. I like this card. Classically, twos represent decisions, choices, being at a crossroads, and this card means the same exact thing. So maybe there's a make or break point that you're at right now. Now, it doesn't just have to be that. This one is different than the other twos to me because it is long-term strategy and planning. So when we have the Sun and the Hanged Man, planning, watching, strategizing, planning, watching, strategizing. These are big themes that are showing up. So whether it's advice from spirit, something you're doing, something someone else is doing, there's a lot of plans being laid out here, a lot of strategy when this card is in the mix. I usually like it. It's usually really good. It could also represent distance and travel. A downside to the Two of Wands is somebody that overthinks or is in analysis paralysis and they can't choose or can't decide. So there's like this analysis paralysis going on. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Capricorn. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you. What do we got for Capricorn, please? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the sun. Let's go in on this positivity. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the sun here, please? Why is the sun in the mix? Thank you. I do like it. We do have this little bit of a volatile energy, but I don't necessarily feel like it's a bad one. Okay, so watch out for any situation or thing that seems to intensify quickly, but I feel like for a lot of you, this could be parlayed into something really good. Now, the Knight of Wands in reverse, if you're not dealing with a fire sign, so huge Leo energy, Aries, Saggy, if you're not dealing with a fire sign, this guy in reverse is very unpredictable. So, of course, the explosive energy, this could be a win or a victory that comes in out of nowhere, or a situation that just intensifies quickly. Maybe that's why we have this energy in the center that's like, whoa, 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 slow it down, because that might be the energy where someone might feel like too much too soon. So, good energy is good energy, but sometimes things can overwhelm. And what I'm seeing here is just watch out for energetic overwhelm, what I'm seeing. I mean, usually this guy in reverse is something we do want to watch out for, but with just the energy I'm feeling here up front, this could be an explosive win out of nowhere or just something that intensifies quick. So watch out for that, like feeling like, oh, this is happening too fast, or just something comes in too quickly. Because I still want to look and see what this hanged man has to say, but I'd say so far so good. We don't always plan for every eventuality. Sometimes things happen better than we expect. So I think this is very much claimable right here in the front. So you might have a lot of stuff coming towards you magnetically, but in a positive way, which I think is really nice. So let's just keep moving. We're not going to overcomplicate that. It is what it is. So why is the Hanged Man here? Yeah, could it be realizations or things popping up? Yes, I do think there could be aha moments, eureka moments as well, where like something finally makes sense or the dots connect. It's like, oh, okay, now I get it. So let's see what's up with the Hanged Man. Let's see why he's here. There's the Hanged Man in the mix. Thank you. Watch out for feeling like something could be too good to be true. That's another thing. Like, all right, what's the catch? What's the rub? We have the star in reverse underneath this Hanged Man. Listen, nothing wrong with being cautious, my friends. Just because something seems good or is good doesn't mean you can't run it through its paces and be cautious about it. Now, the big thing is try not to be pessimistic about something as well. Like you could be realistic, you could be pragmatic, just don't lean too far pessimistic. Just because something has happened in the past doesn't guarantee it's going to happen again in the future. So we do have the star in reverse, big Aquarius vibe. So if you're not dealing with an Aquarius, usually in the upright, it's one of the best cards of wish fulfillment. Hope in a brighter day. It's very happy and joyful. So when I see it in reverse, it's a little pessimistic. It's a little down, like things don't usually go this easy for me. Things usually don't happen like that. Now, for some of you, could this be advice? Absolutely. Where like, listen, if it comes in, if it feels too good to be true, if it gets too intense too quick, nothing wrong with pumping the brakes for a minute and being very cautious about it. So even if this is energy that hasn't even shown up yet, this could be advice where it's like, all right, well, just take it slow, take it at your own pace. But I think it's good, honestly. There is still this energy of someone being under the magnifying glass, though. So whether you're putting someone or a situation under it, whether you're under it, yeah, like with this Hanged Man star reverse, it's like, oh, I'm looking for the flaws. I'm looking for the weak points. I'm looking for anything that seems off to me. So we're going to keep moving over to the Two of Wands. We'll see if there's still the watching and the strategy going on. So an intriguing mixture of stuff. Intriguing mixture of stuff. Let's see why the Two of Wands is here. And we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is it in the mix? Why is the Two of Wands here? Okay. Okay. So with what I'm seeing here, I like the energy on the back end too. So we have the Ace of Pentacles in the upright, multiple energies. This one does seem to go at a better pace. I guess whatever it is you're dealing with, it's all about the pacing of it. That's like super important to me. Now, I love this combination where it's like, all right, that's great, but maybe I'll wait for something else. Or to me, there's an overabundance of options and choices, which I think is good. But there is also this planning here too. So again, whether it's advice from spirit, whether it's something you're doing, it's like, all right, I'm planning it out. I'm watching what can go wrong, what can go right. I'm going to make a plan and I'm going to attack it the right way, which I think is pretty good. So if this is you, I like the way the energy is moving. If it's somebody else that's in this planning phase, I also like the intent behind it. But at the same time, it's this very peculiar energy on the back end. Usually, the Ace of Pentacles is offers opportunities, conversations, and talks. So again, it fits with what I saw last week, where someone's trying to hit you up or tempt you or give you some good news, get you amped up, get you hyped up. That's the vibe. So I think it's okay for the most part. There's a ton of really positive energy here for you, but just take your time. And there is something about divine timing that's showing up here as well. So let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. If you kindly look in the box, I like the energetic outlook for the most part this week for you, but right over here we have the sun with the Knight of Wands in reverse. Now, to me, this feels like an explosive win of some kind. It just pops in. Either that or a situation that just intensifies quickly, even if you're not trying for it to. Watch out for feeling overwhelmed, like too much too soon, because that could be throwing you off with something. Or somebody could be feeling that, where it's like, oh, this got intense too quick. In the middle, we do have the Hanged Man with the star in reverse. Let's pump the brakes here. Let's look and see. And I did say, try your best not to be pessimistic, but it's somebody like looking for flaws, looking for weak points with something. And just because something may have gone rough at one point doesn't mean it's guaranteed to every single time. But there's nothing wrong with being a little more cautious and not chaotic. Okay, so we got great energy. I guess it depends on what it is. Moving to the back end, we do have the Two of Wands with the Ace of Pentacles. So there is this strategy type of energy going on here where it's like, all right, this could be going right, that might go wrong. Let's try to mitigate any risk here. So it is someone planning on putting something in motion. But I just like the energy coming towards you. There's nothing wrong with pacing yourself and taking things slow at your own pace if that's what you want to do. But if you're the one that's go, 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 there might be someone linked to the situation that is in that semi avoidant type of state. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing. So let's get you going. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card out here. What do we got for the Cappies, please? Quick. Ace of Cups, cool. So even in the shadows, you do have some pretty good energy moving your way. Ace of Cups, very similar to this Ace of Pentacles, offers and opportunities could start popping up out of the blue, which is what we saw here, last week. So for a lot of you, there's this nice magnetism that things could be just popping up. And I like it. It doesn't mean you have to take every offer or opportunity that comes in, but I just love the way the energy starts to flow in this time for you. So I'm liking what's coming in. Now, the downside to the Ace of Cups, it could represent love things, relationship things, emotional stability. So this could either represent an emotion that somebody is holding in and keeping very quiet, suppression, or emotional ups and downs. So watch out for that. Even though there's great energy, you know how life can go. All right, so we're just going to put that Ace of Cups down right there, my beautiful friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The November subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation and you'd like to have a little chat with me, you can book a personal reading with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. You'll see my digital calendar is open for the month of November. They're filling up pretty quick, so if you'd like to have a chat, come over and see me. But for the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of a lovely deck. It's fairly new. It's called Tarot of the Woodland Wardens. It has a whole bunch of fluffy critters. It's really adorable. I think everyone would like it. So if you like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, since it is November, What are you most grateful for right now? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.